Ancient Greece, a civilization that lasted for centuries, known for its great philosophers, epic tales of gods and heroes, and breathtaking art and architecture. However, some of the eerie practices of this great civilization are unheard of today. Join me on a spine-chilling journey through ancient Greece as we uncover some of the creepiest things from its past that they considered normal. In ancient Sparta, a society known for its warrior culture and harsh discipline, infanticide was a chillingly common practice. When a child was born, it was inspected by the city elders for any physical defects or abnormalities. If the child was deemed unfit, it would be abandoned in a remote location to die of exposure. This cruel practice, known as apotemandrosis, was meant to ensure that only the strongest and fittest survived to become Spartan warriors, maintaining the city-state's military might. The dark side of this practice was the high price paid for the pursuit of physical perfection. Countless infanticides perished due to this unforgiving approach, and even today the memory of Spartan infanticide sends shivers down our spines. Necromancy, or communicating with the dead, was practiced by some of ancient Greece. This eerie ritual involved visiting tombs, making offerings, and performing incantations to summon the spirits of the deceased. The goal was to seek guidance, learn secrets from beyond the grave, or even gain assistance in cursing one's enemies. Despite necromancy being considered taboo and dangerous by many, practitioners risked angering the gods of encountering vengeful spirits in their quest for forbidden knowledge. In some cases, necromancers would even perform rituals involving the disinterment of corpses. Necromancy reveals the lengths people would go to in order to seek answers or manipulate their fate, regardless of the potential consequences. In ancient Greek society, prostitution was a widespread and accepted practice. In fact, some forms of prostitution were considered sacred, such as HIERODULES or temple prostitutes, who served the goddess of love, Aphrodite. These women engaged in sexual acts as part of religious ceremonies, believing it brought worshippers closer to the divine. This practice, while intriguing, may strike us as bizarre and unsettling today. It's important to note that the perception of sexuality in ancient Greece was vastly different from our modern views. Sacred sexuality was seen as a way to honor and connect with the gods, and temple prostitution was just one of the many ways the ancient Greeks practiced their religion. Nonetheless, the thought of sacred prostitution might still send a chill down our spines. Ancient Greeks had a unique way of commemorating their beloved pets. When their furry friends passed away, some Greeks would mummify them and bury them in designated pet cemeteries. Cats, dogs, and even birds were preserved and placed in tombs alongside offerings such as food and toys. This practice, while a testament to the bond between humans and animals, can feel a bit creepy to modern sensibilities. These pet cemeteries often contained elaborate grave markers, inscribed with heartfelt messages from the pet's grieving owner. The fact that ancient Greeks went to such lengths to honor and remember their pets reveals the deep connection they had with their animal companions, even if the practice of mummification might seem eerie to us today. At number 6, in ancient Greece, it was believed that consuming the blood of a fallen enemy could grant you their strength and courage. This practice was especially common among warriors, and was considered a way to honor the dead. Some ancient sources even suggest that the blood was mixed with wine to create a potent, life-giving elixir. This bloodthirsty ritual was meant to absorb the essence of the deceased, making it a grisly and unnerving custom. The practice of consuming blood may have roots in earlier, more primitive beliefs about the power contained within blood. As the ancient Greeks sought to assert their dominance on the battlefield, this savage practice served as both a tribute to the fallen and a stark reminder of the brutal nature of warfare. To honor the dead, the Greeks held athletic competitions called funeral games. These contests could be brutal, with participants pushing themselves to the limit, sometimes even resulting in death. The winner would then dedicate their victory to the deceased, making this a rather macabre sporting event. Funeral games were not only a way to honor the dead, but also a reflection of the Greek belief that physical prowess and competition were integral to a person's character and legacy. Funeral games had their origins in Greek mythology, with the most famous example being the games held by Achilles in honor of his fallen friend Patroclus during the Trojan War. These events showcased the best of the ancient Greek athletes, with contests in running, wrestling, boxing, and more. In ancient Greece, it was customary for adult men to form close relationships with adolescent boys. This practice, known as Pederasty, was seen as a rite of passage and a way to pass down knowledge and wisdom. While the nature of these relationships varied, some did involve sexual contact, which might seem creepy to us today. However, in ancient Greek society, this mentorship tradition was widely accepted and even celebrated. It's important to note that pederasty was not universally practiced or accepted throughout ancient Greece. In some city-states, the relationships were purely educational and platonic, while in others, they were more intimate. If you wanted to get back at someone in ancient Greece, you might use a curse tablet. These small, thin sheets of lead were inscribed with messages asking the gods or malevolent spirits to bring misfortune or harm to a specific person. Then they'd be buried or placed near the person's home, a sacred site, or even a courtroom to influence the outcome of a trial. It's like an ancient, eerie version of a voodoo doll, and evidence of these curse tablets have been found across the Greek world. The inscriptions on curse tablets could range from simple requests for bad luck to elaborate, gruesome descriptions of the intended harm. This practice reveals the darker side of ancient Greek society, where individuals sought vengeance and justice through supernatural means, regardless of the potential consequences for the cursed. Although not as widespread as in some other ancient cultures, human sacrifice was still practiced in ancient Greece. Usually it was done to appease the gods, seek their favor during times of crisis, or ensure victory in battle. Victims were often criminals, slaves, or even innocent children, and their deaths were intended to demonstrate the community's piety and devotion to the gods. This chilling practice reveals the dark side of ancient Greek religious beliefs. The ancient Greeks believed that offering a human life could bring about divine intervention, showcasing the power of their faith and the terrifying extremes it could reach. Topping our list of creepy ancient Greek practices, in certain cases the bodies of slain enemies were displayed on the battlefield as a show of dominance and a warning to others. This gruesome practice involved impaling the corpses on stakes or hanging them from trees, and it was meant to strike fear into the hearts of their adversaries. By showcasing the brutality of their conquests, ancient Greek warriors sought to deter future resistance and assert their authority over conquered lands. The psychological impact of such displays cannot be underestimated. The sight of mutilated bodies not only demonstrated the ruthlessness of the victors, but also served as a stark reminder of the price of defeat. And there you have it, creepy things that were totally normal in ancient Greece. We hope you enjoyed this spine-tingling journey through history. If you found this video interesting, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the eerie side of history.